Got back, and man, is it hot out there. I've actually already put away the cold stuff, and my hip is killing me, so I will finish putting away the other stuff in a few minutes. I picked up some stuff to go with Chris's costume, mostly an eyeliner thing to draw his whiskers. The silver lipstick is for me. Stubby. He can use it if he wants. I mean, it's for... He sneezes on me all the time, so I don't really think it matters anymore. So anyway, I also got a mess. It's bats. It doesn't really go with his costume, but this is literally a flashing necklace that will just be another, see there's a kid here, don't run into him sort of thing, and I'm always down for that. I'm always down for something that makes him more visible. If I can find it, I will find some reflective material, and I will sew it onto parts of his costume. I will make this work. Because I don't want there to be any chance. And I mean, I'll wear something that'll be reflective too. I mean, his dad will wear something that'll be reflective. We want there to be like a neon sign, hey kid walking here. Just in case, you know, you don't normally need that level of caution, but what can I say? It makes us feel better to be cautious. It's better safe than sorry. Get, you cannot have that. No. So I got a couple different glitter gels, and I looked at them to make sure that they didn't have anything terrible in them. This one is certified not tested on animals. Certified by this other company that checks this stuff for harmful stuff, and it says designed in the USA, which doesn't really impress me. It means some part of it is made out of country. Like, well, this one just straight up tells you it's made in China. Get. I don't care where it was designed, I want to know where it was made. Because that tells me what the regulations are and what you can shirk on your labeling. Most of the stuff was designed in America and manufactured somewhere else. So, get off. Rat. I know. This stuffing, it's taking up your chair. Now you're on your dad's chair and you're just looking at me like, my chair, Mom, my chair. How am I supposed to be a lap kitty? No, they actually had a really good deal on stuffing, and I'm like, well, Thanksgiving's coming up. And I guess we will just not run out of stuffing for a really long time. Or we could, just give some to some friends or something. Help them out, too. But, like, it was 9 for 99 cents. 9 bags of stovetop stuffing. 99 cents. Now, it's not the best. Like, I'm still going to, like, mix in some stuff and make it mine. But using it for the dried bread is actually really useful. And, you sort of cook up some onions and some celery, maybe some cranberries, mix it in there. You can even, like, do apple pieces. I got different stuffings that I make, but usually on Thanksgiving, I do my bread stuffing. And I can do this by just taking, like, bread, actual bread, or, like, bread that's about to go stale or is becoming stale, and I can just do that up. But yeah. This just makes it easier. If I can do this, this is what my grandmother taught me to do, just then it kind of... Also, it's just useful to have it on hand. If there's just a meal that you can't really, you're just behind and there's just this one side that you can't quite do, you can just sort of throw it in a pan with some ingredients and make it yours. I usually re-season this stuff anyway. I'm really picky. I just use it for the bread, the dried bread. Yeah, I know that a lot of people just follow the instructions, but like, I substitute the water for broth or drippings of whatever, I save drippings too. I freeze them just so that I can do this. Yeah, anyway, got some silver lipstick, and I checked this beforehand because lipstick can have some pretty messed up stuff in it. There's only one thing in there that kind of bugs me, but like, I know it's not dangerous, it's just kind of weird, but this is a metallic silver lipstick, so it's kind of expected. Ah! What's really get interesting is that this has white and black, so I can even outline. Oh, sorry, it's ivory shimmer. Well, excuse me. It's white. It's white. So, yeah, that'll help bring out the whiskers. So, yeah, I mean, then they had a really glittery version of the mask that we got a bit back from them. The one that I won't let anybody wear because it smells funny. And I mean, by smells funny, I mean this doesn't smell like good plastic and it doesn't feel quite right either. So, just nobody wear it. Because sometimes the caveat of going to some place like this is that, like where I went, the 99-cent store, is that sometimes they have stuff that kind of bypasses regulations. Like, there was this fan that I got once that didn't actually work either, but it was supposed to be one of those holding fans. I didn't realize till I got home that it actually said that you had to wash your hands after you touched this, because they used lead in it. Some of this stuff, like, you can look it up online and it won't tell you. Like, they don't want you to know, because then you might not buy it. So, some stuff you do have to be careful of and look at them. Makeup is a big one no matter where you buy it, though. This is just Halloween makeup, though. And usually that's not a bad thing at these places, so. But I still look anyway, just to be safe. Better safe. But today, this one is usually really good. So I've actually never gotten anything from them besides the mask that I questioned. And even then, that just might be me being cautious because it doesn't have anything that came with it that tells you what it's made out of. And if you don't know and you're in doubt, just don't do anything with it. So we actually got a shelf for Chris's room, a bookshelf for his room from them. It looks like crayons are holding up the shelves. It's really nice. Apparently they used to sell it at Toys R Us or something. And they went out of business. 99-cent store got a hold of their stuff. We bought it. And a whole bunch of other people too. But I actually got a spice rack. 12-jar spice rack. And this is the good stuff. Like salt grinder, different kind of salts. Some cayenne, some parsley, some cinnamon, rosemary, fennel seeds. We usually use fennel seeds, but that's okay, basil. And I kind of got it because even after these run out, I want to use this to organize my spices. there's the ones that you don't really use a lot, and then there's the ones that you do. The ones that you don't use a lot, that you kind of use for specialty things, you could just sort of put away until you need them. But the stuff that you use a lot usually ends up on the counter somewhere at some point. And then if you, like, forget to put it away, it just sort of is still there, and then you just sort of are... By the time you realize that it's still there, you're like, well, I need this later, so I'm going to use this. So, yeah. And then, oh, a cake plate. An actual cake plate! I'm excited about this. It cost $7. Was it 8? Hold on. I think it was 8. But it's an actual cake plate. Microwave safe and dishwasher safe, I think, too. Some of the dishes you have to be careful of if you get them from a 99-cent store, because they're not. So, also dollar stores, obviously. But if you check them, sometimes they are, so that's usually good. But yeah, we ran into that once at an actual dollar store, and I replaced some of the plates and bowls that had kind of dropped, because, over the years, we just had some that did, and we didn't have a lot of plates left that could go in the microwave or in the oven or anything like that, so it was like oven, microwave, and dishwasher safe, and I was like, I'm on this. And Gene just sort of was like, okay. But at the same time, he was like, honey, I hurt, you hurt. Can we just get done and go home? And I was like, I must scour this place for the bargains. I don't actually like to shop, believe it or not. But whenever it comes to finding ways to save us money and, like, get us what we need, or maybe something that we've sort of just been keeping our eyes out for, I'll look for that. But yeah, this cake plate, I've been wanting to get one for years. Like 5-6 years? Every time we run into them, though, they're really expensive. And we've looked online, too. They're really expensive. But yeah, I found one for like $8. We no longer need to take our turkey plate, our round turkey plate, and put a cake on it. And then use an old pot over it to kind of cover. We no longer have to do that. Now we have an actual cake plate. It's awesome. So I just hope it doesn't break in the move or something. Oh gosh, no, please don't. It's one more thing to kind of be careful of, while moving, and just make sure that it's kind of packed right, but yeah. I'm good with this. I can do this if, it's... Why would you, give it, a weird shimmering quality and then be like, ivory shimmer? All you're saying is that it's shiny white. Does ivory shimmer just sound... Oh, God, don't get me this started. My mom and I, whenever I was little, we used to get on about the different colors. And she was trying to teach me the difference between different lipsticks, and I looked at her, and I said, Mom, close your eyes. She had been trying to show me the difference. So what I did was I drew on a piece of paper with my poor mom's lipstick. We didn't have a lot of money, so yeah, that was probably a dick kid move. But I didn't understand that. So I think I was like 4 or 5, and I showed my mom, and I said, Mom, which lipstick? and she couldn't tell the difference. 'Cause with just those two, they were the same. It wasn't just that they were just a tiny, tiny bit different and they warranted a different name. They were just 2 different brands of lipstick that were the exact same color. And they had 2 different names. those colors. And my mom was just... I've always seen colors really well, so I can pick out differences in shading that most people don't see. I guess it's like the only thing really good about my eyesight is that whenever I can see what I'm looking at, I can see different subtleties that most people don't. So I guess this is reflected in my artwork because I work with a lot of these subtleties. And my camera can't pick these shit up because it's too busy trying to use corrective shit. And I'm just like, I don't want the corrective shit. Just give me a straight camera. You know, like a film camera. They didn't correct your shit while doing it. They didn't try to make you look better. That's what a photographer's for. That's what I grew up with, photographers. My grandfather used to win awards for his photographs. My grandmother too, but like, I don't know. Anytime I start on my grandmother, I have to talk about all the emotional stuff involved, and I just don't want to do that. So yeah. I just sort of munched a tortilla before I went, so I probably do need to eat something before Munchkin gets home. It's 3 o'clock. It's time to open up the door and heat it up in here. Oh god, no. Oh, Gina's probably gonna love this. But I also found some coconut flour. And I was planning on making something with it. But also I'm gonna like make a little bit with non-coconut flour. Gina's not big on coconut, so. But I figure experimenting with different things is good for Chris to learn, so that's what we're gonna do. It's not like we got a lot of it, but yeah. Also, agave spread. Or sorry, guava paste. Yes, this looks good. Why would you need to specify that it had... Never mind. So, yeah. I am tired. I am beat. And I need to finish putting stuff away. I left this up here. This needs to go in the fridge. I guess it's a really good thing it's still cold. Otherwise, I would be SOL. Without a paddle. Oh, yeah. I picked up a body wash for Chris. Hey, I like these. And I was running out of some cleaners, so I got a couple of those. Okay. Huh. Woo. This thing. Probably put this one in the bedroom or something. It's lavender. I like smelly things. But I also like smelly things that don't smell like rotten perfume. Something like this is not something I use all the time. But yeah. Oh yeah, it wasn't $8, it was $5.99. This thing is awesome though. been looking for you for years. This means that birthday cakes will no longer just be on a plate with a pot over them. That can be exciting. I don't make cakes often, but when I do, yeah, so I don't know, maybe I should leave some of this out to help have Chris help me put it away, sort of like a consolation prize. He usually gets to go with us, so. And he likes to help, so. All the stuff that, like, he could break is already, like, put away, except for the spice rack, which, that's gonna be good. I mean, like, we should actually have room to put a spice rack on the counter. Like, so, I'm like, well, I saw it, and I conquered. I could probably build the companion spice rack. Nothing that spins like this one, but just sort of like a spice shelf. You know, so that don't have to really deal with searching in a cabinet. We'll have to see though, once we get the microwave and all that on the counter, if we have enough room to make that work. And like, not have things like this again. Now, to be fair, we don't really have a lot of counter space to begin with, and then we've also got a dryer taking up like a good foot and a half of it. So, yeah. Well, not and a half, but it's a little over a foot, maybe. No, probably like 2 feet of it. So, we don't have a lot of countertop space. But then, you know, we've got like a dryer. Kind of like a half-size dryer or whatever, sitting there. And, I mean, it works. And it doesn't need like a special hookup. It's actually made to be used in apartments and whatnot. We did a lot of shopping around to even find it. So, yeah. And the insurance that we got for it is still being dicks. So, anyway. Yeah. An aroma gel beads air freshener. It's used in your home, car, or semi-confined areas. What? The excellent scent. Directions. Remove cap, open the lid, and enjoy. Caution. Prevent gel contact with plastic and painted surfaces. Keep out of reach of children. No shit, Sherlock. Like, why would you even want that anywhere near a kid? So, yeah. Anyway, we've got those glorified lights that you wear around your neck. Happy Halloween LED flashing necklace. Lights up. It's for each year's old mess. All it does is flash. We're good with that. Like, be seen! Although, to be sure, if you run over this kid, you're gonna have to run over me or his dad first. This is sort of like an over my dead body sort of situation. We're pretty careful though, because we understand how easy it is for things to happen in life and just take people from you. So Chris has his whole life ahead of him, and we will do everything in our power to make sure that nothing happens that can take that from him. And also, he really loves sparkles. So I got those. Those are actually for him. I might wear some just as a sort of like embellishment, but I actually got them for him. He will probably want me to wear them. He will ask, and I will say yes. I'll just be like, oh, I'll wear a little bit. And we'll probably be washing it off of him for days, because glitter gets places. It just sort of gets places and you start finding it, like, on your clothes, in your hair, just sort of everywhere. So, we don't expect that not to happen. I also, like, refreshed what spices we have that I just sort of needed more of. Some of which is in the spice rack. We don't use bacon bits often, but, you know, when we do, Jean likes it. They're made out of tofu. I don't see the harm. Yeah. Sorry, soybean, and yeah. Tofu is soy. So, tofu is made out of soy. I also got a little bit of tofu. Yeah, I bought some tofu at the 99-cent store. I checked it. It was good. Also some macaroni and cheese. I got this. I'm not sure how it's going to... It says clean label though. No artificial colors, no artificial flavors, no preservatives. Made with non-GMO pasta. Peanut free, tree nut free. Yeah. Found this at the 99-cent store. Didn't get a bunch of it, but usually, like, I just kind of use the noodles and kind of, you know, make my own. Because there are some noodles that you kind of need a pasta maker for, or at least I'm not that skilled by hand. So I would need a pasta maker for that, but there is some pasta that you can make by hand. And I do actually know how to make them. I'm just not really motivated to sit there and make bow tie pasta and whatnot. But macaroni is not one that would be easy to make by hand. It is typically you use a pasta machine. There is probably a way to do it though. Now I'm curious and I want to learn it and find out. Yep. That's my my flaw in life. I get curious about things, I decide to learn them. Until I just know all these different things that are largely useless except for teaching them to someone else or knowing whenever somebody's full of shit. But yeah, I guess I'm going to, oh, I also found some baking cocoa. Baking chocolate, some all natural cocoa, some other miscellaneous stuff that, like, I don't use a lot, but whenever I do, you know, I do keep an eye out for it whenever I go to these 99-cent stores and whatnot, because whenever I do use it, it's usually, like, planned ahead of time, and sometimes it's expensive, and if you can find it and it's not expensive, and it's one of the ingredients that keeps for a while, and you could just sort of keep it in there until you're ready to use it, go for it. So yeah, I do a lot of bargain hunting, so that we make it and all that. Also, I almost have enough to make the sauce. But also I still have some in the freezer, so we don't need to do that right now. My spaghetti sauce is a pretty epic thing. Like, you see that thing up there on top of the fridge? Oftentimes, that's what I make my sauce in. Well, it's time for me to go.